Mobility and Pathways Recruitment Coordinator here at Humber College. And today it's my pleasure to be your moderator on how to become a content strategist, marketing manager, or PR specialist. And these are just some of the job titles of the programs we're going to be covering this evening. So to get started, I'm going to be doing a quick overview about Humber. And the first thing we're going to start with is a very quick video with our new branding.
Bring your talent, drive, and all that makes you, you to Humber, and we'll prepare you to reach your full potential. Apply now at humber.ca/bringit. We are Humber.
Great. So just a little background about Humber. We are one of the largest colleges in Canada. We have 3 campuses, all in Toronto. We have our North Campus, which is around Highway 27 in Finch, our Lakeshore Campus, which is at Kipling and Lakeshore, and we also have a campus in downtown Toronto. When it comes to our North Campus, this is our largest campus. It has close to 21,000 full-time students at this campus. We do have residents, and these are our residence buildings over here. Hopefully you're seeing my pointer. So residence for 1,000 students. And one of the things I love most about the North Campus is this arboretum, the 250-acre parkland called the Humber Arboretum. So an amazing space, green space right inside the city or right beside the campus. And I know students love sort of accessing the space and staff as well to just enjoy nature while we're here on campus studying. And we also have the Lakeshore campus. So this campus is, as mentioned, at Kipling and Lakeshore, has about 12,000 full-time students and residents for 400, which is going to be increasing shortly. And this is nestled beside Lake Ontario. And one of the things I love when I'm at the Lakeshore campus is walking down. There's a trail that you can walk down towards the lake. And once you're at a certain point, there's an opening and you can actually see the skyscape of downtown Toronto. So you see the CN Tower and all the buildings. So it's quite a beautiful, beautiful view. So some fast facts about us. Yes, we have about 30,000 full-time students, but we have over 300,000 alumni. We have over 200 programs in 17 areas of study. For our graduate certificate programs, we have 150 plus pathways, and more than 45% of incoming students have previous education or experience, which is, I'm sure, many of you on the call today. So what do we offer? So we offer different types of credentials. As mentioned before, we do have over 200 programs, and these are the credentials that those programs fall in. So for example, we have 1-year certificates, 2- and 3-year diplomas, 2- to 5-year apprenticeships that can last 2 to 5 years, depending on the trade, 4-year bachelor's degrees, and today what we're going to be sort of speaking about and discussing are 1- to 2-year Ontario graduate certificates. So I just took a screen grab from our website just to give you an idea of how many programs, how many graduate certificates we have. We have about 55 of them, and today we're going to be showcasing 3 of those programs. And with that, I'm actually going to move over and let's start talking about those programs. So with that, I'm going to ask our panelists to join me on screen, and I'm going to have them introduce themselves. So we'll start with question number 1. So panelists, thank you. Welcome. Great. So I guess I'll start with Annette. Annette, can you maybe introduce yourself and the program you're going to be representing this evening?
Okay, so Risha, how much time do you have? Because you know I'm in PR, right? So
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Hello, everyone. Thank you for giving up your evening to join us, and thank you, Risha, for organizing this. My name is Annette Borger-Snell. I am the program coordinator and professor in Humber's award-winning, much acclaimed public relations postgrad certificate program, and we're very excited you're here and hope to share our story with you and why a career in public relations matters, or what we call these days communications, and how we get you career ready. So thank you.
Great. Wow, that was short. That's great. Sheila.
Okay, I'm Sheila Moore, and I'm the program coordinator for marketing management. And I have another program, advertising media management, that I coordinate for. And they're 1 year post-grad certificates. I guess we all are. And it's 2 semesters of coursework and 1 semester for you to do a placement. It's a very exciting course. The marketing management program allows you to really, I don't know, get your hands dirty, if you will, into the weeds of marketing, where you can end up working for an agency or working in-house doing marketing for a company. And there seems to be lots of opportunities there for students.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, hi everyone. Ahmed Sarwala, also known as Am. I'm the Associate Dean of the Interaction Design Cluster. The program I'm representing today is Content Strategy. It is also a 1 year postgraduate certificate, and it focuses on the blend of content creation, analytics, and user experience design. So a nice blend of those three coming together, really focusing on what it means to understand users and craft content for them, and then use data as a way of decision making.
Great, perfect. And for the next questions, I'm going to start with you. Can you tell us who's the ideal candidate for the content the strategy program, and what are some key attributes these candidates should possess to be successful, not only in the program, but once they go out and start working in the field?
Yeah, okay. So ideal students would want to create a deep understanding of the users that they're trying to communicate with. And they're also understanding the business and the user needs in that approach. They may have an understanding of user experience design. We also provide that. But the idea there is to understand how you craft content and then also dress it up. And think about where the content is living. And that could be in an interface, it could be on a physical printout, and it could be in multimodal settings. So we could be using video, we could be using text on the web, we could be using SMS messaging, email marketing, and so on. I would say candidates that are ideal for this program would like to learn how to leverage analytics or data in order to make decisions on how the content is created and how to iterate on that content. So they're thinking about campaigns, working on them, building them up, critiquing them, and then going back to the canvas to improve the subsequent iterations of the campaign. And in terms of being successful in the workplace, the students that are most successful in this program come from a variety of backgrounds, and that's what we're looking for a lot of the time, because they can often customize how they write content for a particular industry. So having experience with another industry and not just focusing on the area of content creation, but maybe it's healthcare, maybe it's the legal area, and they find ways of working content in interesting ways for that particular industry or even other industries as they repurpose the content that they're creating. Okay.
Perfect, great. Sheila, tell us about your ideal candidate.
First of all, I do want to take Ahmed's course. It sounds very interesting.
It does.
Anyway, ideal candidates. They would be the 2 semesters of coursework are busy. So you would want to be a person that's organized. And this is going to help you in the professional world too. A little bit creative and a little bit analytical. Like I said, you're going to get into the weeds of marketing, if you will. There'll be some, there's a numeric component to the program so that you can, create, estimates of the success of what you're proposing. There's creative aspects where you're going to be creating, an IMC, an integrated marketing communications plan. There's a little bit of overlap with what is happening in Ahmed's program in that you'll learn some content creation, some, like I said, some hands-on opportunity. So what kind of candidate would be good for that? Someone who, like I said, is a little bit analytical and a little bit creative. That you're curious, I would say, is a really good trait, because, in the marketing management program, when you go out into, the work world, there's a variety of industries and areas and companies that could utilize your skills. So, yeah, those would be good qualities for sure.
Perfect. Great. Annette.
Yeah, so it's really great. I mean, I think there's a lot of synergies between all these programs. To be a communicator these days is to have big shoulders. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of people, organizations, governments, clients that need our assistance. We have the ability to kind of figure out what needs to be said to what audience at what time. So for us, when we look at sort of what makes a good communicator, obviously they love connecting. They love connecting on strategy. They love connecting with people. We have a high EQ as we do, sort of an empathy aspect because we do work with people. And some people are working with us, whether they be through clients or through organizations, at troubling times, like they've got a crisis or they have a new product that they want to talk about, or they want to know how to navigate social. What can they say? How can they deliver it? For us, it's also about being curious. You have to love telling stories. You have to be creative because we're going to use all those tools that and Sheila are talking about. Obviously, we spend a lot of time in the social and digital space, but we also work with marketers as well. Whereas marketing could, have that sort of very much that that sort of image that's out there. How do we as communicators provide lift using maybe not paid routes? Maybe it's about talking to media, maybe it's about talking to thought leaders, maybe it's about working with partners and celebrities and any way to sort of get a brand awareness and also to build the trust in that brand. We like to train our students to be trusted advisors so that one day they're in the room when the decisions are being made, so that when we read headlines about an organization that's done something really kind of like you want to just put your head against the wall, it's like, why did they do that? Why didn't they talk to somebody? We are sort of the portals to understanding different audiences. We liaise with everyone in an organization, from the president and CEO to the people who come into the building as clients. We're kind of those people who are always there. And for our students to understand that, in the absence of good communications is when problems can start. So let's be in the room. Let's be trusted advisors. Let's amplify stories that need to be told, and let's be the change. That's our philosophy in our program.
Perfect. Great.
Oh, the short question is, we love everyone. There's no one right type of person to be a communicator. You just have to love communicating. Sorry,
that's
long
great.
answer for short question. Sorry.
That's all right. That's great. And I'm glad you brought up that there's synergy between all three programs. And that's why I wanted all three programs to be on the same panel so that students can maybe identify of the three, which one would be a really, really good fit for them. All right. So next question. And Annette, I'm going to start with you.
Oh.
So how does our program at Humber compare with other programs, maybe at Humber or elsewhere at other colleges, universities in Ontario?
Well, again, I am in PR, so I'm good at the key messaging. So here's the thing. I think, our program is one of the best out there.
Mm-hmm.
It is, it's going to get you career ready. We certainly, from the moment a student joins our program, is the moment they know they're part of a community of communicators. That they're also going to be supported by a great grad network who pays it forward. And I've just finished connecting all our students from this semester with grads, at least a couple, if not three or more grads in the community, so they can talk one-on-one with them to figure out a path of interest, and a curiosity. So we have the extra value added. Plus we have a lot of volunteer events. We just did a fashion event. We've got a ballet event. We've got a music event that the students can participate in as volunteers. We're certainly getting them career ready with, appropriate PR resumes, cover letters, as well as LinkedIn profiles. We also practice interview skills, all the things that you're going to need in a career. Plus, we layer on the wonderful and wild world of communication. So everything from media relations to strategic thinking to investor relations to how to do a podcast, right? It's all in there. And so with that diversity of what we offer, it makes us a little standalone. We're also offering what we know the industry wants. We're not teaching old stuff that's not going to help anybody. It's all about what a person needs now at this moment. And so with that in mind, I think ours stands out. Now, here's the thing. I'm in communications. If we're not the right fit, then, and you still want to do a career in communications, my colleagues at other schools are also amazing. And I would never say anything, about their programs because I don't know, but two, communicators are a family, regardless if they're from Humber or if they're from any other place, because we work, in small groups, and we work, to put out big fires. And with that, we need the support of everyone. So really, and within Humber, like, listen, we're a pathway program. I'm referring students, my students to other postgrad programs and vice versa. It's because if you're looking for something that you need to round out your career dreams and your career aspirations, then find us, right? We're going to be that kind of the glue that helps you in a lot of different places as well. We're going to work on your writing, so your writing will never be academic ever again. It'll be wonderful. And we can turn you over to Sheila, maybe if Sheila's writing, ad copy or anything. Woo, we got you there, and if you want to do social or digital media, right, and you want to do the analytics and you really like the numbers and you want to go in and you want to figure out different ways to leverage that content, over to you. We're going to help you there. So I think really we're a good connector for across a number of different programs.
Perfect. Thank you. Sheila.
So the marketing management program is part of the Longo Faculty of Business. And I think what kind of sets us apart from other colleges is the amount of resources that we have available. We're also tightly aligned with the Center for Entrepreneurship. So there's a lot of resources there if the marketing students want to get involved with industry partners, if they want to get involved in starting their own businesses as a side to the marketing management. And this is true of all programs at Humber. We all have a program advisory committee that we work very, very closely with to make sure that the content of our programs reflect what the industry needs and wants. So, we meet a couple of times a year with our PAC committee, making sure that we're like aligned to the needs of industry. What that translates for students is that you'll be in demand for jobs. And that's the ultimate goal, because we do want you to graduate and get jobs. And also, you know, comparing to others, I'm not going to talk about any college in particular, but I can tell you that we really, really strive to have a lot of hands-on experiential learning happening, whether you're writing like ad copy, whether you're writing an integrated marketing communications plan, a marketing plan, and then executing that strategy that you've come up with. That's covered in our courses.
Perfect.
So
thank you.
Yeah, you're ready to go.
Yeah, great.
Excellent. I love the common thread that we're seeing here. And this is like a really good opportunity to state that a lot of our students end up joining this program because they did learn about content strategy elsewhere as a module or as a course, and then they decide they want to dig deeper. And that's where we come in. So content strategy at Humber is one of the only offerings in this area that is a full program. So our graduate certificate is sort of a one of a kind right now. I think other institutions are going to slowly catch on that what we're trying to do is create content of value as opposed to paid marketing campaigns. So what we want to do is ensure that we're enriching the lives of our users instead of just paying for one of these big search engines to put your website at the top of the page. So we always say that search engine optimization is much more important than search engine marketing. And that's where we focus our efforts in this program. We understand the differences between the two in this program, and then we strictly look at value add content and creating that content. Another interesting thing about our program is we have interdisciplinary courses that run with user experience design, web development, and creative technologies. And our content strategy students understand their role as it relates to contributing in an interdisciplinary team when they get into the marketplace. So how do you work with a web developer to provide them specifications? How do you guide them through the analytics process and integrating that code that's needed to start getting the data through? Another thing that we've started doing recently, and as Sheila mentioned, the program advisory committees that we work with, there's been a lot of talk about generative AI and large language models in the industry. And some of the people that we work with don't have the capacity or time to specialize in those areas. And so what we're doing now with our students is training them up on how to use these systems so that when they get into industry, they take a leadership role in training companies that need to keep up with the times. So we're ensuring that our students, when they're graduating, they have a really good toolkit when it comes to these emerging technologies. The other thing we do in these interdisciplinary courses is we pair up groups with some pretty big names in industry. We've worked with Cineplex, MLSE, TELUS, Kobo, Rakuten. Right now we're working with North by Northeast, and then there's also several esports initiatives that we're also working on. And when we create our teams, we allow the teams to identify which type of project they feel most equipped to execute, and then we pair them up with that industry partner. So very much as what Sheila and Annette said, we are really giving people practice, that practical approach to doing campaigns and creating content. And I would say that is where Humber continues to shine across the board. I will also say, if it's okay, Risha,
Yes, yeah.
John Wilton is here. He is one of our faculty members. I was filling in. Sean, if you have a chance and you want to say hi. Otherwise, I might just give the next question to you, Sean. So if you are here and you want to turn on your camera, I'll know you're ready to go. Otherwise, feel free to say hi.
I can do what I can. Sorry, I just got home. I was teaching all day, so I was a little bit late.
Great. So hi, Sean. And something, you know what, every time any session I do, I love everything and I want to do every program, which is a bit of a problem. I should probably stop doing these sessions. Great. So next question. So and so Sean, I'm going to just maybe I'll start with Annette to give you a little bit of a breather here. So Annette, when it comes to the program or the industry, are there any myths or misconceptions that you would like to address? You're on mute. Sorry.
Yes, I was that person this evening. Yeah, so I think one of the big myths that we have when you think about PR people is like sort of stereotypes. And I think the one that comes to mind is, sort of big personalities, big voices, and really communications right now it's for all people because we need different voices in the room. So I always like to say if everybody was a big personality, there wouldn't be enough oxygen in the room. So PR is a profession that works with, excuse me, I have allergies tonight. PR is a big profession that works with all kinds of people because we represent and we work with all kinds of people. So I like to think that you can be, you can be yourself in this profession. What is good about that is that you grow into the role. You become more confident in areas where you wish to grow, if it's presentations, if it's writing. It's really, sort of this idea that what is a modern day PR publicist or, communicator? It's really look around. Everyone is a communicator. We're just going to give you the skills so that you feel confident in representing clients, representing the organizations where you work. That's why I love PR. I think it's that career that can take you into a number of different places. If I look back on my own career, who would have thought that I'd work abroad? Who'd think that I'd work with celebrities and work on fashion shows? I'm a quiet introvert from, sort of Eastern Ontario, and I had all these great opportunities, never once thinking I'd be a communicator. And here I am, years later. And I think if you can dream it, you can achieve it. And communications is that. And our program will allow you to dream big. We have a grad who's doing all the social media, tying back to content strategy. for Stella McCartney. We have a grad that went around the world to work with the oceans and do cleanups in the oceans, right? We've had students who are working on Parliament Hill and in Queen's Park. So really, if you have a goal or a dream that's going to, you want to realize and you want to find a path forward, then perhaps our program is it. There is no idea that you have to be one kind of person to achieve this and be successful in this career. So it's wide open. We'd like to say in our program, it's better to be a B plus networker, an A plus networker and a B plus student. We're really focused on how we connect with people and how we leverage the best out of that relationship. And really, it's a great profession and it works with who you are. If you are quiet and like to do, sort of the data crunching that we do have in public relations, or you'd like to do the research, or if you are a big personality that has no problems picking up the phone and, pitching a media, outlet on a story, there's something for you here.
Perfect. And tying into that, I'm that introvert who turned into a communicator myself, so I can relate. Sheila.
Okay. Well, myths and misconceptions. I guess the biggest one I would say is that business people aren't have ethics, and salespeople have ethics, and I guess that sometimes especially when we look at the news, right? That we often hear that there's been funny business going on in business, and that's me, and I think that's a myth and a misconception. Sure, it does happen, but there's the vast majority of people aren't that way. And marketing is, it's certainly about like supporting an organization to meet whatever their financial goals are. But really at the heart of marketing is solving problems for people, and helping them to realize that there's a solution out there for them for that. So there's this whole other side that's actually really positive and good. And I think sometimes it gets a little bit of a bad rap.
All right, thank you, Sheila. And Sean, any myths or misconceptions in the content strategy program or in that profession?
In the profession, I would say that one of the misconceptions would be that content strategy is just about writing. It's because there is such a heavy focus on, of course, blog content being part of it. But it's not just the writing, it is the data behind it, the data that's driving why you're writing, who you're writing to, where you're going to be placing this writing, and what the purpose of the writing is. So it's a lot more strategy than just words on a page. And it's also, it's not just about new content either, if we're going to keep talking about writing. It is also auditing and assessing and analyzing previous content to see what worked, what didn't, updating that content and bringing it back out into the world, or using it to inspire future content.
Great, thank you. And Sean, I'm going to start the next question with you. And this says path to the program. And by this, I mean, who are you seeing in your program? You maybe can talk about the admission requirements, but what background should someone have, a specific credential or not? What should they have in order to make it into your program?
Honestly, as far as background or credential, I have such a wide variety of students in my program. I've had in both the most recent 2 semesters, a couple of students who are from film backgrounds. So working with sort of big budget Netflix shows, one of them was. A couple of them are influencers with a couple million followers each, which is incredible. They did that on their own, and now they're in content strategy, learning how to do that even better. We also have a couple of UX designers, interior designers as well. We have actually one woman in the course is an entrepreneur. She, for most of her life, past 20, 30 years at least, has been running a business with her husband and decided now is the time. I'm going to learn how to focus our efforts and get more clients in the door. And then she started in content strategy.
Great. Thank you. Sheila. Oh, so I think there.
No, it's all good. So the admission requirements for the marketing management program are that a student has to have an undergraduate degree. That is kind of the threshold. And it can be in anything. So there's a wide variety of students. I have students that are directly out of university, and then I have other students that have these phenomenal backgrounds that just are amazing, and they're coming to the program to either get you know, some Canadian education, or they're coming to formalize their maybe they're doing a marketing job and they want to formalize what they're doing. So there's like a wide variety. This yeah, that's the path to the program. And I want to talk to just a little bit about you know, often a student will have taken maybe another post-grad program, or this is their first post-grad program, or done other post-grad work at other schools. So there is a pathway for them. If they're doing, for example, a second program, they can get course equivalencies based on what they've taken. So they would, not have to take maybe all the courses. Or if they're coming from an outside institution and they've got some sort of post-grad degree or whatever, we can have a look at that and see if there's the possibility for transfer credits.
Perfect. Thank you. Annette.
Yeah, so we too, for our program, require a student to have, an undergrad degree. We also have some other sort of pathways with experience and diplomas. And, I always defer those to our amazing register rep, Simran Sivia, who's on the call here as well. But how we start our process is we like to interview everybody. We like to get to know them. We like to find out a little bit more about them to see, to also manage their expectations. Our program can be intense and does require, somebody to have time management, the ability to, juggle a lot of balls in the air. At the time of the interview, we also ask candidates to submit a resume and a letter of intent, which is basically a writing sample of why they want to, study PR at Humber. And we also do a mini quiz, not like Jeopardy, and it's not, not a big thing, but it's pulled from the headlines, just because we really don't have a lot of textbooks in our program. So we save people money, just FYI, that there isn't a lot of textbooks, right? So we're going to pull things from the headline because communicators are quick on their feet. They have the ability to pivot. They have the ability to, sort of get to the heart of the matter very quickly. And so we're seeing a lot of interesting backgrounds in our program. So yes, we do get some students who have communications degrees, mass communications degrees, but we also have students who have anthropology degrees or kinesiology degrees, things that, that they loved, going to school for, but want to take it to the next level, build on what they have and become, sort of this rounded communicator in healthcare or with health or fitness and things like that. And so, again, we really are looking for people who are curious and they want to communicate and they love connecting with people. So really what you bring to us, we always honor and respect it. We always say to our students, we say, let's just park that here, and be open to how we're going to teach you and, and build on what you have. We're very fond of saying you're amazing when you get into the program and you're going to be even doubly amazing after you leave because you have all that great academic background plus our program, and you've built and grown yourself, into other areas and tested yourself and tried out new things. And so when you leave us, you are not only career ready, job ready, you are ready to take on the world and make a difference. So really, that's the path to our program. Also, if you want to stay with your academics, we do have some great pathway programs to some UK-based universities where you can do your master's, which if it would take you 2 years, would only take you 1 year with our articulation agreement. So, once you're in, you're part of the family. You can't get rid of us.
Great. And we'll touch a bit more on those pathways out a little later on as well. And so for the next question, Annette, I'm going to start with you. Can you talk a little bit about the delivery mode of the PR program and if there are any flexible options available?
Sure. We have, the best schedule, and we've been having the best schedule for the last couple of years. So great. Thank you to all the schedulers at the college. So what we've been able to do is in our first semester, we have given all the students Mondays off, right? Partly there's a lot of holidays on Mondays, but Mondays are hard,
They are.
we recognize this. And then Fridays in first semester is online. So we deliver, our social media course online. It makes sense, it's online. So that means students are on campus Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. And yes, unfortunately, there's a couple 8 a.m.s, but then you're on the road before traffic, right? Because we recognize a lot of our students are commuting. We also are trying to move our schedule up a little bit to accommodate students who work in the service industry or in retail. So we haven't quite won that battle completely, but we are always conscious of that. In second semester, we again give students Mondays off. And we're also working on Fridays being hybrid again. And so we do one course on a Friday that has, out of 14 weeks, I think 4 weeks are on campus and the rest is remote and one-on-one sort of chats that you make with the, sort of for your interview prep. So again, we're trying to focus all our learning on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. They're jam-packed days, but we get the work done. We have 8 courses, which makes us a little heavier than, say, some programs, but we have a lot of content to share. And we have a lot of things that we need to do to get you ready for, an amazing career. So that's kind of how it works in our program. As for flexible options, can you do it, sort of remote? No, because we're communicators. We need to be able to read the room. We need to be able to read each other. We need to be able to, sort of sense things that sometimes online does not. Sometimes online doesn't permit. Although having done it through COVID, we produced some great grads who are now working and taking the industry by storm. So who knows? But let's not pray for another, let's not pray for that, and the reasons for a pandemic ever again.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. And Sheila, can you tell us about the delivery mode for the marketing management program and what flexible options might be available?
Hey, I would love to. So our in first semester, in the 2 semesters, students take 6 courses in semester 1 and 2. And what we do is 2 of the courses in first semester are online courses, and the other 4 are in person. In second semester, all 6 courses are in person, and they would be on the campus of your choice. We run programs at both the Lakeshore campus, and for international students that want to go have a downtown experience with the International Graduate School. In the fall of this year, we started an exciting new